When a sort of franchise enters into its third film, it means people keep wanting to see them. And I was wondering what it is you think about the Cars franchise, which has this appeal that keeps drawing audiences back.
Yeah, I think it was just, I don't know, a love people have for cars, and that John Lasseter sort of tapped into, and the idea that you could animate cars and kind of, give them sort of, human qualities was just something that I wouldn't have thought would necessarily work. But yeah, but I just know, like, as a kid, kind of having Hot Wheels and, being into cars and stuff, and so that seems to be a pretty universal thing.
I mean, because Cars has always been aimed. I mean, but the first film I remember seeing it was kind of aimed at a slightly sort of younger crowd, but fans of the original film will now be teenagers. Was that quite something that you guys had to take into consideration? I guess is making sure that
they could even be like, let's say they could even be like 20, because you could have, let's say, saw like 9, which you could have. Now you're 20 with this one. But this story is kind of, is a little bit sort of, there's a poignancy to it. Yeah, that's what kind of blows me away, is how long we've been at it.
Because, Lightning must be a character you feel really close to now, I guess.
Well, it's a character that is, but I've also kind of worked on a few movies where they ended up doing 3 of them. Did they do 3 of Night at the Museum? I think they did.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, and Meet the Parents, they did 3. But I think, people say, well, what do you do to prepare to play Lightning McQueen? And, there's not much I do. I mean, you practice playing saying ka-chow, and, Bob's your uncle.
Because you're right. You have played characters on more than one occasion, on a few times.
Yeah.
Is there a character you've only ever played the once that you would love to revisit again one day?
I like the characters in Darjeeling Limited a lot, and then the Midnight in Paris. I really enjoyed. I don't know where you would go with those characters, but those were just movies that I like doing. Yeah.
Well, if I could see that character again, just to hear him say Hemingway in that surprised voice, then I'd be quite happy.
Hemingway.
Yeah. And when you have, because obviously we've established you know the role of Lightning McQueen so well. Did the director, did Brian let you have your own input into the character? Did he let you implement your own ideas? Because obviously, this is a character I guess you probably know better in some ways than he does.
Yeah, I think that Pixar is always sort of, and Brian was really kind of open to always any things that I wanted to try or ideas that I maybe had, but it's not, there isn't so much improvising, and you end up recording over a couple years, so you kind of, you get a lot of, different, opportunities. You get a lot of shots.
And I just wondering, because obviously one of the themes of this movie is how kind of obviously Lightning is getting older, and then obviously this new kind of guard are coming in and getting all the plaudits. But are you someone that embraces getting older? Because some people resent it, some welcome it. I think that, like sort of wine or cheese, I think we all get better with age, I think.
You get better with age?
I think so.
Maybe. I do think that... it's not, given the choice between like getting older and not getting older, I'd probably choose not getting older, but that's not an option. I do think that it's nice. I remember like really like sweating it like early on, like when you'd work on a movie and oh no, how is it gonna be received? And because it seems, the stakes seem so high at that point, where we even gonna get to sort of continue to make movies? And now, having done it for a long time, and it doesn't feel that same sense of anxiety. So in that way, it's kind of nice.
I guess the older you get, sort of roles are reflected in that, and I guess obviously you start playing sort of parents. And one of the films are playing a parent is Wonder, which looks like the sort of film I'm going to cry the whole way through. Is it that?
I think it's like I think it. Yeah, I think that could be a good double bill: Marley and Me and Wonder. Because there's something about, the book's obviously very moving and stuff, but there's something about like a kid kind of struggling and other kids being, maybe not accepting or being mean to, that I think, kind of tugs at everybody's heartstrings. And so certainly that's kind of a little bit the story of Wonder, and then seeing that character's journey. I think it could be, moving, hopefully.
Because I mean, Marley and Me, it's almost ridiculous how much I cried when I watched that movie.
Yeah.
Have you ever got? Can you get
I know
emotionally
that
involved?
like when I was doing Marley and Me, maybe because I didn't like train as an actor and I started as a writer. For me, like real acting has always been like, can you change your voice and then can you cry? And so I was kind of nervous as we led up to the scene where I'm supposed to be kind of putting him down and crying like, oh no, I hope I'm able to kind of drum up some tears. And I walked on the set that day and they had a new Marley for that scene because they had an old dog there. And this dog, as soon as I looked at this dog, I almost started crying because it was like you couldn't not cry because the dog just seemed just like so tired and like, it wasn't hard to get emotional. So I'm sure, watching the movie, you feel the same thing that I felt doing it, that, it's moving.
I actually feel like I'm welling up right now, actually.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Much appreciated.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.